Howdy, howdy. Uh, Welcome back to whoever is tuning in daily. It is the 7th of Feb, 8:51 in the evening. It is raining out here in Townsville. I don't know if the microphone can pick it up, but um, yeah, it's raining tonight. It's pretty humid, but I am glad it's raining because it's been really hot the last couple of days. Um, but yes, it's been good. Today was a good day at work. Did everything I wanted to do. I tried out a little productivity strategy or hack. I set out a goal of mine to not check my emails, go onto my phone, or leave my desk until I had completed a task. I did that by 11. Um, and then then I went for my coffee and got my checked my emails and whatnot. It actually kind of worked. It actually kind of worked. And I'm gonna try it again tomorrow. Where I think they call it fucking deep focus or deep work, when you kind of enter in this zone where nothing. You try not to leave your desk. You just you set your it's only one task or one or two tasks, and you don't leave until it's done, pretty much. Or you set a time limit and you have to meet that time limit. It worked for me today. um, the only thing I could say I got distracted from was I did go have a chat in between, but other than that, I can, like, it sounds so simple, but it's actually it's difficult for me, because I've become to be known as the guy that if you want to have a laugh or a joke or break the tension, the people that I sit next to, we just banter back and forth. So it was hard not to avoid it, but I can do that. I can avoid it, and tomorrow I will try better. This is my new book that I'm reading, The 4 Hour Work Week. Essentially, little productivity hacks. It's about a guy that worked a 9 to 5 and was an entrepreneur, but he found that from both they kind of had the same. They suffered some of the same issues or problems, and he kind of nuts it out in the sense that he breaks it down into, again, little productivity hacks and challenges where you don't need to work the fucking 9 to 5 or the 9 to 5 for 7 days a week. Or pretty much what an entrepreneur does is essentially work. You don't ever stop. You don't really stop working. I'm not even a third of the way through, so I got a lot to learn. But the quote for tonight, or the paragraph that I want to read tonight, comes from that book, and it's about rejection. I think that'll be the fucking title of this page, the video. And I don't want to go too much into it, but I found as well, like yesterday I mentioned that the best lessons in life came from pain, from overcoming difficult situations. One of my favorite things about entering, like when I was 21, 22, and entering the dating market, was the lesson of rejection. And look, if some of my friends are watching this, they will, what do you call it, attest. They will agree with me that there's nothing as cold as being rejected so bluntly multiple times at one bar in one night. It's such a fucking norm for a young guy, especially when you're on a fucking budget, you're with your mates, you're figuring out yourself, and then you're going out and you're trying to pursue women, and they want fucking nothing to do with you, but you are still out there and you are still trying, and you kind of Well, I used to, especially when I was 21, 22. I used to measure my nights by the interactions that I had with women. Like if it was a good night, I talked to so many women, I'd get so many numbers. That's how I would measure my night. Look, I'm gonna close the door. Yes, I am in my underwear. But um, what was I saying? Yes, about the rejection. That's how I would measure my my nights out. And one of the things I learned very, very quickly was that I was going to get rejected and it was okay. Like I wasn't gonna die. The worst that I've been rejected quite a lot of times in some of the most I think if I ever do a fucking story time, I'll share some of the rejection stories that I've gotten. But yeah, like I realized fairly quickly that if I harbored onto a rejection for too long, it would ruin my night. And because I had this limited time when I was on a fucking high and I had all my boys around me and I was on the piss, I did not want to let that affect me. So I kept going back in. I'd go back in again and again. I would get rejected again and again. And I just grew a thick skin to it. And it was nice because when the time came when a girl didn't reject me, I was so comfortable with myself because I had been rejected so much. I'd be like, oh yeah, she must actually find me attractive. Okay, how do I not fuck this up? And enough times, you just get comfortable with it and it just works. And girls, if you are uncomfortable in that scenario, I don't know, but girls have this fucking sixth sense where they pick it up. And then they get, uncomfortable as well. Don't want to get too much in this rant, but the quote that I'm reading tonight is about rejection. And it kind of aligns with a lot of the shit that I've been talking about lately. And it isn't shit, so I shouldn't say shit. I've been talking a lot about it, and I really believe it, that failure and overcoming all these fucking difficult challenges is, if not the best thing anyone can do, is just go through difficult times, go through difficult challenges, because that fucking lotus behind that task or that situation, the unbeaten path, yeah, it's worth it. And that's the fucking lesson that I got out of rejection as well. I had to get rejected so many times to learn that lesson of self-worth. That, some girls are gonna like me and some girls aren't. I have to fucking like me. I have to be comfortable in myself, in my body, the way that I approach women, the way that I can hold a conversation. As long as I'm good with that, it didn't really fucking matter. It mattered if they were hot. Kidding, no. It mattered. The only thing that mattered was how I thought of myself. And look, obviously, it's a bit selfish because a lot of the times I'd go into an encounter or an interaction and I'd only think about more or less me getting over this fucking fear. And more often than not, I wasn't thinking about the value that I was adding to someone else's life. But that was a period of learning. And I don't really do that shit anymore. Actually, never. But I face different challenges, like speaking to a supervisor. That's the same thing. I'm worried about what they fucking think of me. That's the thing that stops me. But I stand up and, one foot in front of the other, I fucking make my way to their office and ask that question. It's pretty much the same thing. The only thing that's stopping me from fucking again, approaching, not, approaching my supervisor, but, back then approaching a girl was what I thought was going to happen. But yes, okay, back to this fucking, I don't know what, the last 10 minutes, I don't actually watch, like I said, I don't actually watch these back. So, I don't actually know what I've been talking about for the last 8 minutes. But I want to read this quote. And it goes like this. I deal with rejection by persisting, not by taking my business elsewhere. My maxim comes from Samuel Beckett, a personal hero of mine. He says, ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better. You won't believe what you can accomplish by attempting the impossible with the courage to repeatedly fail better. Fail again, fail better. Fucking beautiful. One step at a time, buddies. Fail again, fail better. The beauty of rejection. That's all I have for you guys. Fail again, fail better. I think that's going to be the title. Thanks for tuning in again. For those, I think there's 2 people that are consistently watching it, unless one person is watching it twice. Unless that one person is me. But no, look, whoever is tuning in, I do appreciate you guys. Shoot me a message if you guys have any questions, or I also like listening to people's stories as well. So if you have my number, send me an audio recording, or let me know, and we'll arrange a phone chat. I enjoy listening to other people's stories about how they've overcome little or difficult challenges. It motivates me. So, my phone is always open. I've got some free time in the afternoons. We'd love to chat. Okay, deuces.